One of the best things I did put on this planter was, as you can see, the Dawn GFX row cleaners. One of the biggest advantages to the Dawn GFX system is that it actually bolts to the toolbar. It's not bolted to the row unit, the faceplate of the row unit anymore. It actually bolts up, uses the same bolts that the row unit uses to bolt to the toolbar. So when I'm going through the field and all that jolt, that bounce that we always saw before, all this, my meter has no idea that that's going on. So to me, that right there is the selling point. That's why this needs to be on the planter, because we've got floating row cleaners, we had the precision clean sweep system, all that stuff that we had on there, and it did a good job at clearing out the row most of the time. You know, we could get rid of the residue, but every time I was going through the field, every jolt, every bounce I'd hit would be transferred back to the row unit, ultimately the seed meter. So the whole reason we've got the floating row cleaners on there is so that we get that nice, clean, smooth ride on the meter. And what we saw with the clean sweep and then the Air Force system that we had from Precision, including the up bag, they're always fighting each other. One would either push it up, and another one would sense that and have to push it back down. So we went to the Dawn unit, bolted it to the toolbar. So my row unit, the only weight that it actually has added to it are the clothing wheels. I have nothing on the faceplate itself. The other advantage to the Dawn GFX system is obviously it's hydraulic. So when I'm going through the field, just the twist out, just the response that I had from the RFX system, I see with the GFX system. So twist of the knob puts more down pressure on it. I can back off the knob and it's just going to pick it up immediately, and I can keep going. Cover crops, that's one of the best things I've done, setting a planter up for cover crops. A lot of it has to do with when the planter is going forward, I'm actually pulling the GFX trash wheel instead of pushing it before. It used to, when I'm pushing it, it'd catch the cover crop or the soil, and it always has that tendency, just because of physics, to try to get sucked down into the soil. With this unit, I'm pulling it so it actually wants to come up out of the soil. That, along with the swept-back teeth that Dawn offers on their 12 3/4 inch wheel, it just lets that cover crop fall off a lot more. I used to have issues in ryegrass, sometimes cereal rye. We used to have issues where we didn't have cover crop and we just have a field of chickweed. It'd get into, we'd have those straight teeth get in, start wrapping up with it, and it'd actually wrap up and lock the row unit up. So I'd have to get off, clean everything off, which wasn't a big deal, but the planter was stopped, and that's a problem. That's a big deal. Now with the availability to control it from the cab, I can back off that pressure. The row units pick themselves, the row cleaners pick themselves up. I can keep going, don't miss a beat, which was the original goal going to the chickweed. After a few passes, I wanted to see what it would do if I did, put full hydraulic down pressure on that. With the cover crop and the chickweed, put full hydraulic down pressure on it, and it just goes right down and starts cleaning all that residue out of the way without getting too aggressive and without getting in and moving my soil, which is the key. I don't want the trash wheels, if the trash wheels are spinning 100% of the time, that means I'm moving too much soil. I want them spinning 70 to 80% of the time, just moving that residue off the top, not getting into that soil. And these have been the only row cleaners I've had that have been able to do that. So as far as attachments go on a planter, the Dawn GFX system is probably one of the best attachments I've ever put on there. It is also one of the most expensive attachments I've put on there. I think they're running around $900 to $1,000 a row. But something that we put on there, it's fully rebuildable, serviceable. They use all the Timken bearings and everything in there that we've had on the other previous planters that we've got 10,000 acres on that set of bearings, never had to replace them. So it was one thing that we felt 2 years ago that we would go ahead and try to put on there, and haven't looked back since, and I don't know if we'll ever put a different type of row cleaner on here.